All right, here we are with Stanford defensive coordinator Bobby April III. So first of all, just talk about how has your defense looked so far through the first 2 weeks and change of camp?
Yeah, I'm excited about the progression we've had. We've had some up and downs, right? A little bit injury ridden right now, but I do love where we're trending.
What stands out to you from the progress from last year to this year, even from spring to this year? What's different about this year?
Yeah, we're a louder defense, right? We're louder on the field, we're louder on the tape. So that's exciting to see that people are taking command, right? Fixing things on the field that I can't fix with a call. So that's been really fun to watch.
We just saw Clay Patterson walk by. Just kind of talk about the impact that you've seen from him so far since he's gotten on campus.
Yeah, he's a grown man, and the things that we can do with him in the pass rush is really unique. And his ability to stop the run has been really impressive.
You mentioned being banged up a little bit. Have there been some younger players or others who have taken advantage of that have caught your eye?
Yeah, there's a few players that have been really impressive. I like where our inside linebackers are trending. So a couple of guys in the secondary as well. So I like the young talent for sure.
Talk about just kind of growth you've seen from Colin Wright as a cornerback. Just what have you seen from him, his growth from last year to this year?
Yeah, we challenged Colin at the end of the year to really work on his deep ball skills. We saw a couple times today that showed up. That's exciting to see. The physical part of that was always impressive. So him in contact and phases throughout the practice today, that's what he does. But it's been the deep ball that's been impressed me the most.
Looks like Brendan Nicholson might be one of those young guys that's ahead of schedule. What's impressed you about him?
Yeah, he's got a really good grasp of the defense already. And, the game's not too fast. And a lot of times for young guys, it's moving a little bit too quick. The motions change, calls change. But he's ahead of it, right? Does a great job of studying the playbook. And he comes from a really good program, so you can see that on the field.
Just talk about the unit you're working with, outside linebackers, especially David Bailey. Just what have you seen out of him and the unit as a whole? What do you like and what do you want to see those guys improve on the most?
Yeah, I think the physical aspect of the game has really ticked up for the guys, right? There's a lot more competition in the room. I do like the ability to rush the passer from everyone, really. They've been doing a really good job. But it's a very unique position. It's very Swiss Army-like, where they're dropping into coverage, they're blitzing up the middle, and they're starting to grasp the things that we couldn't put in the past. So that's been fun to watch.
It seemed like just about every team you played in conference last year was spreading it out and slinging it around. Is there maybe more opportunity to use some three-man sets this year by any chance? Is that something that's any more times being dedicated to this year up front?
The 3-3 stack is something that we definitely have in, and we're looking forward to messing around with more of it. And we got a couple packages where we only have one defensive lineman. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Just in general, do you feel like you have more kind of – Coach has talked about more increased depth. For you as a defensive coordinator, how does that depth help you in terms of maybe implementing more of what you want to do than you could last year?
Yeah, it's a huge part of it, right? And it saves some legs on some guys too, right? So you're talking about a 90-play practice right here. And in the past, that would have been 40 reps for our starters. We don't have to go deep into the tank, get them fresh for the next practice, and then keep installing as we go, right? There's less corrections having to be made, which is fun to see, right? So we get to implement more of the program, which is awesome.
Braden seemed to have a big spring on the D-line. Has he been able to pick up where he left off and maybe give you more depth on the D-line too?
Yeah, BMO has been outstanding. I'm super excited about what he's going to be able to do for us in the future.
At this point in the season, obviously, it's mostly about the squad, about you guys, but how much of an eye do you have on TCU and the opener when you're going out preparing on a day-to-day basis as of right now?
Yeah, I think it's in the back of a coach's mind. We don't talk about it all with our players. There may be some stuff that we're working on that we may be working on for future opponents, but as far as in tune to it, it's just a general sense right now.
As far as like working on the pass rush, what are some things you guys can do when you're maybe not facing against the opposing team? How do you kind of work on blitzing when you're not going up against a live offense?
Like on like a live, like nobody be on the ball. You're saying?
Yeah, I mean, or do you have to be facing a live offense to really work on that? How do you kind of work on that aspect? Do you need to be facing a live offense to work on blitzing or pass, or just how does that kind of work when it's just you guys only? How do you kind of work on that particular aspect?
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll put cones out there or trash cans, and we'll simulate blitz patterns, protection looks, right, getting in pass rush lanes, things of that nature. So we can definitely do it on air.
You got a lot of the same guys back from last year. What have you seen from their strength and development over the offseason?
Super impressive. This is a team that put on 700 pounds of muscle over a year, and we've trimmed our body fat and increased our muscle mass. And you can tell the twitchiness and the explosion is beyond anything I've seen from our group yet.
Just talk about Tobin Phillips, kind of what's he bringing, obviously a veteran presence, but how has he kind of grown and improved over the last year?
Yeah, I think the leadership ability that Tobin brings to that room is important, and he's not afraid to voice his opinion on things. I think that his ability in the run game has been really impressive, right, which it was last year. I think the tick that he's really gone up on is his pass rush, which has been really good.
In the safety room where you've got Jay here now and Jay Sean in that room, I mean, are there some other names that are flashing a little bit, or how's that looking?
Yeah, Jalen Sullivan's done really good. Double D Davis has been really good. I like long, lengthy safeties, and we've got 3 of them right now. Shea has done an outstanding job. So the ability to send those guys on pressures, get hands on balls, right? And they've got a lot of range, right? They're long, rangy kids, so that's been fun to watch.
I asked Coach Taylor the same question, but how do you as a defensive coordinator budget your time between working with the OLBs and also kind of overseeing the entire defense? Just kind of how does that process work for you?
Yeah, I tell you what, I have a lot of trust in my coaches, and I try not to micromanage anything, and I trust what they tell me. They give me the positives and negatives that can happen on calls. And then, we have a voice of one, and we all repeat the same thing. So, one word and one voice is really powerful. So when we meet together as a unit, we meet together as a staff. We hash through the issues, and I trust my staff to get them all right.
A lot of interest this offseason about the in-helmet communication. Does that change the way you approach anything, knowing your opposing quarterbacks are getting fed more information than they had before? Or,
Yeah, it's really interesting. I talked with the technician over here at the Stanford Stadium, and we're going to diswire that pregame. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's been a tool for us too, right? For us to make checks and give alerts to what we're seeing from the sideline to the mic backer. We'll put it in different guys each day, right, just for them to hear it and sense it. It's a good tool, right? It's a good tool. It's definitely a good offensive tool, but we'll take advantage of it too.
Any highlights you can share from today's practice? Anything stand out?
I thought the short yardage was really good, right? I saw a couple big-time TFLs. 3rd and 1, your percentage of winning those reps is about 25%, and I think we walked off with a pretty good percentage there. So that's exciting. That I thought there were some situations in our team period, right on 3rd down, that we did a great job with getting after the passer and tipping some balls.
I noticed Sean Frost Ramos working with the safeties a little bit. Is that a permanent position change, or just how is he being looked to be utilized?
Yeah, he's a versatile athlete, right? We need to find a way to get him on the field. So the more positions he can play, the better it is for us.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Bobby, for taking the time, and good luck with your fall camp period here.
Fall camp period. Let's go.
There we go.